Good morning, everyone. Robbie Miller, Tangipahoa Parish President, along with leadership for the response team of this event. Thank you all for being here so we can update you. First of all, as we know, there was a major tragedy, terrible fire at Smitty's Supply yesterday. But I think the biggest thing that we can come away with this is the blessing that there were no injuries. We thank the Lord for taking care of all of the people that were there, and there's been no injuries since in all of the response. A tremendous response at that. We've had every agency you can imagine, from state police, federal government, state of Louisiana, federal government, and local from all around. So we thank them for coming to help. Again, I want to reiterate, no injuries, not just no deaths, no injuries in this event. And Smitty and their partners have done everything they can possibly do to contain this. We are still fighting an active fire. Still a tremendous fight going on to slow it down and get it under control. With that, we're still maintaining the 1 mile radius for evacuation zone. That's out of an abundance of caution, maybe as much as to keep, to let the free flow of workers do what they need to do and not have sightseers come by. So we appreciate that. Again, it's still a very active scene, still very, a lot of questions. We know there's a lot of questions. We're working on the answers, but most importantly, we're working on getting that fire put out and the ability to then be able to investigate the cause, all those things that hadn't even been started. So if you start asking those questions, there's no answers. So please help us get the word out, the 1 mile evacuation, only because of caution and really to be able to work the scene better, and that they're doing everything possible. It is an incredible sight to see, and it's a devastating sight. We have 400 people from Tangipahoa Parish and the surrounding area that are trying to figure out where their livelihood is going to come from. So let's pay attention to the work that's being done to do as much recovery as possible. With that, I'm going to turn it over for an official statement from the Louisiana State Police, Sergeant Huggins. Thank y'all very much.
All right, good morning. I'm Sergeant William Huggins, Louisiana State Police. Just like Parish President Robbie Miller, thank y'all for being here. But kind of before I get into the official statement on what we have so far, I do want to let y'all know if y'all are going to have very technical type questions, we are probably going to ask you to do that off air. Just so we can get it to the subject matter experts in that specific area, and then we'll be able to get it back to you as soon as can. All right, so overnight there were a number of small explosions that were going to be reported around the incident area. These are consistent on what has been occurring since the start of this incident and do not present any new or heightened concerns at this time. The fire does remain active and crews are continuing to work to contain and suppress it. Multiple agencies are conducting ongoing air monitoring and analysis. Thus far, the readings taken outside the incident area have shown either non-detect levels or results that are well below any actionable thresholds. The EPA has also deployed a special aircraft to conduct additional air monitoring. While their data is still undergoing quality review, their preliminary results are being used to inform operational decisions within the Unified Command. That said, this remains a very dynamic situation with several unknowns. We are maintaining a cautious approach as conditions continue to evolve. Now, a lot of people have mentioned the soot, and I'm sure y'all have questions on the soot as well. The soot generated by the fire is associated with combustibles like plastic or burning trucks, as well as some hydrocarbon chemicals like you would find at Smitty's Supply, which would be something like oil or lubricants, right? Residents should take precautions to limit their exposure, including staying indoors, when possible, avoiding unnecessary time outdoors in the affected area. Some health concerns or exposure concerns with that is going to be through either inhalation or ingestion. So residents are advised to wash hands frequently, avoid touching your face, your mouth, or after being outdoors, and minimize contact with the soot if you can. For immediate medical concerns, please contact the Poison Center hotline at 1-800-222-1222. We also have the Hazardous Materials Hotline for the State Police, which is going to be available at the LSP.org website, and it's going to be under Emergency Services Unit. Now, I've already spoken about the evacuation order with the parish president. It still remains in effect. It still is within a 1 mile radius of the facility. This order is based primarily on the risk of falling debris, as well as a precautionary measure due to the ongoing and active nature of the scene. We urge residents in the evacuation zone to please comply fully for their own safety until further notice. A temporary flight restriction is in place over the incident area, and that's an extend at least 3 miles from the incident area and up to 5,000 feet from the service level. This restriction is to ensure the safety of aircraft in the area, as well as responders working in that same incident area. We are aware of product in the Tangipahoa River. We're starting to look at waterway monitoring. We do have contractors that are actively conducting booming operations to contain and collect any possible spillage. Water samples are also going to be collected for further analysis to determine any potential environmental impact. Louisiana State Police, along with local, state, and federal partners, are continuing to monitor the situation closely. The safety of the community is our top priority, and we will provide updates as soon as new information is available. All right. Anybody have any questions? Let's start from the left, and then we'll go right.
You mentioned product in the Tangipahoa River. Can you explain what the product might be?
At this time, this could still be under investigation. We're still collecting all these water samples, and we're going to be collecting it all along the river wherever we may find it.
There is something from the
There's going to be a product in the river, yes, sir.
Okay.
The fire's still active, is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, so, did outside sources with chemical foam need to come in for this to help extinguish?
I'm going to have to get back to you on that specific question. I'll go talk to our hazardous materials subject matter experts, and we'll be able to get you what units responded as well as what they may have provided.
I know a lot of residents have black substance over their homes, their yards, vehicles like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, do we know what that substance is, but also has EPA started testing that substance to determine what it is? Is it going to cause any health risk? Are residents able to touch it right now? Should they not touch it? Should they not clean their properties?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, you should definitely limit your exposure with it. Like, all of that soot is going to be different depending on what barrel was on fire or whatever it may be at that time. So it's going to be under investigation for all of that kind of stuff. All I can tell the residents right now is please don't get in it. Don't go wiping it. Don't do anything like that. You definitely don't want it to be getting into your system, either, like I said, through ingestion or inhalation. So please wash your hands, wash your faces, and try to limit your exposure out in it.
And even with that, we saw a lot of cars at a car wash. So even when they're washing it off of their vehicles, is that safe to do? Because when you're washing off, you can still inhale some chemicals at that car wash.
I mean, it's going to come off the car either way, whether it's going to be through rain or at the car wash. But I can't tell you if it's going to be safe just yet. That's all still going to be under investigation.
There was real concern yesterday about the soot, the black rain. We didn't hear anything from officials addressing it or easing those concerns until now. Why was that?
Well, we're battling a fire, a pretty significant fire. The one that I think you said yesterday was probably the worst, at least you've seen in a while, as far as Tangipahoa Parish. So we were very much trying to just get the initial response in place, shut down the roadways, evacuate the area. Now we did say, hey, please limit your time out in this evacuation, or get out the evacuation area, then limit your exposure if you do have soot or anything, something like that. But like I said, it's still gonna be an investigation what exactly is all in the soot. All I can tell you right now is it's mostly combustible items mixed with a hydrocarbon chemical. But once again, we just urge the residents to limit your exposure to it.
Ultimately, what was the delay in waiting to hold another press conference until now? Even posting on social media, a lot of residents this morning, they were waking up, looking to get some answers, some updates, and they had nothing. And they were asking us at the community center, when will officials give us an update? Why did y'all wait?
You didn't get a news release overnight?
I'm saying we got the news release.
Okay, we got the news
People were
release
also
overnight.
waiting for another update. The last thing was posted overnight. Why wasn't something else posted early this morning?
10
People
a.m.
were waking up at a shelter and they're looking for new information.
There was
when
people
they're
giving
getting up
information at
6:30, 7
shelters.
o'clock in the morning.
There was a news release sent overnight. It is 10 a.m. this morning. We've had several meetings this morning. We've had meetings at 6 a.m. We've had meetings at 8 a.m. We are trying to we're still in response. We're also in the mitigation phase right now. So we are getting the information out as quick as we can, but you can't just put out information that may not be factual. So we want to make sure we get our ducks in a row before we just put out information.
Yes, who would be responsible for the cleanup on the streets and the other structures here in the parish? The question may be more appropriate for the parish president, if that's okay.
I mean, it's going to take a team effort. Like you see, this is a unified command. I do know that the responsible party is developing a claims line for any impact that may be for residents. Hopefully, we'll be able to get you more information on that a little bit later. As far as anything parish government related, I would have to defer that question, but as far from what I'm talking about responsible party, and if any residents have some type of impact from this, there is a claims line being developed.
And also, what's the impact on agriculture and farmland here in the area and crops here in the area? What's the impact on those farmers?
Yeah, so we've reached out to the USDA as well as other appropriate agricultural and wildlife agencies for their guidance and to share that information with us so we can get it out to the public. So far, what I have seen from the Louisiana Department of Agriculture and Forestry, they are recommending that if you do have livestock or pets at home or anything like that, please change out all water and feed sources to prevent that consumption of potential contamination.
How many residents are at the community center, and will the evacuation order be extended more than a mile?
42 are at the shelter right now. What was the other question?
Will evacuation order be extended more than 1 mile?
At this time, I can't really give you that because once it's very active, a lot of unknowns still. As of right now, it is going to be a 1 mile radius, and if it does need to be updated, we'll let you know.
Do y'all believe
We're going to take one more question. Go ahead.
Do y'all believe that the shelter will remain open tonight, or people might be able to get home later?
Shelter question.
We were reported just now that tonight we're making sure they're making arrangements for those.
You want to come up here real quick?
We've been reported that for the 42 in the shelter that they will arrangements being made for them, and but we have committed to keep the folks there or in hotels or wherever it happens to be until tomorrow at least. We will, again, I don't know how many times we have to say it. We're still fighting a fire, a big fire. It's not as big as it was yesterday, but it is big still. And that fire has to be put out before we can make a lot of determination on what's going on to be able to even investigate more. I can assure you, though, there are 3 different agencies testing the air quality right now. They've started yesterday afternoon. Smitty's response was immediate. They had people on the ground within hours. Probably saying more than I should, but it was reported to me that it was actually an astronomical response. The idea that there were companies on the ground here yesterday afternoon within 3 hours, 2 hours of the event, and full teams within 6 hours. That usually takes 24 hours to get them here. So we have to commend Smitty's for the job that they did to get the response teams here. With that, they've been testing air since probably 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon and all night long. Those results, some of them take hours to find out what the results are after their collection. So all that's being done. The idea that we haven't given information, we didn't have information, okay? The idea that you guys were reporting things that were not factual is not the right thing to do. Rumor does not help anybody. The official statement was 10 o'clock last night. That statement is what the statement was. All information that anybody needed was in there at that time. It didn't change until right now. And it won't change until the next time we let you know with an official statement. So anything that's going on all the social media is all pure speculation. Please focus on the official information coming from the Louisiana State Police on this incident, and that will be the right information. If you don't get anything different, still in place.
Can you clarify what the misinformation was?
Well, some of the reports that y'all said about things blowing up, about people needing to evacuate other areas, that we're expanding the evacuation, that we're not responding, okay? That was not true. And I'm going to tell you now that y'all are just as much in the reason for that because you ran it on your websites.
So there weren't multiple explosions after the...
There were some, but nothing outside of the impacted area, okay?
Also,
what
can
about
you
the first
explain
responders
how
exposed to
long?
the chemicals? The first responders exposed to the chemicals as they're battling the fire. Are they
I'm sorry, I didn't understand anything you said.
First responders who are battling the fire and dealing with these chemicals, are they okay? Are they wearing specialized clothing?
Well, they wear their normal
Fire-
firefighting and air respirators and so forth that they do, and then there's a decontamination process that they do in every fire. So everything's being done according to the process and the policies and procedures that are followed by this type of an event.
What's the plan? Are y'all gonna just let this burn out, or how are
That,
y'all gonna?
I don't have that answer. Remember, I told you at the beginning, we don't have answers for everything. We told you what we've got. We're doing our best to fight a fire right now and protect our citizens and make sure our environment's safe. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you. Yeah, I just, when might you know a timeline for when the fire may be under control? Is there a process that this kicks into, A has to happen before B has to happen, before C has to happen, before the fire's under control?
The fire guy's not here, so the firefighter's not here.
Yeah, so we'll, like I said, if there's gonna be any technical questions, we'll get back to you after this. I'll come specifically to you. We'll get it to subject matter experts, and we'll try to answer as many questions as we possibly can for you. As of right now, it's still gonna be under assessment. Things change. It's a very active scene. Like I said, there's a lot of unknowns. And so we can't, yeah. No, absolutely, yeah, no, absolutely, and look, there's just a lot of unknowns with a fire of this magnitude. You're always trying to assess, and hopefully, I wish I could tell you, in a few hours. I wish I could tell you in a few days. The fact of the matter is we don't know at this moment, but we're gonna hopefully have a better understanding as time goes on. All right, thank you.
And that was the news conference wrapping up with Louisiana State Police.